Patrick, I didn't get a chance to ask you after the game the other day about those stat milestones that Travis got. What do you feel like those say about him as a player?
Yeah, I mean, it talks to his consistency. Obviously, he's a great player, and we know that, and he's had this great run. But if you look at his career, he's just been consistently great every single year. And that tight end position is hard. You take a beating, you're blocking, you're catching over the middle, taking hits, and he just prepares himself the right way that he can be out there and available for us every week. So truly great player and a great teammate for sure.
You feel like those things mean a lot to him?
If they do, he doesn't even make it look like it, because I sit beside him on the plane and I said something to him about it. He was like, "Oh yeah, man, yeah, it's cool." He's all he's worried about is winning, and I think that's what all the great players are worried about. And the stats kind of come, but at the same time, he's just trying to win a lot of football games.
Your coach just basically said that if you do throw an interception, you will spend all week long looking at what you could do different, and review. So after last week's game, what have you kind of seen? Is there any kind of something you found yourself in a pattern, or what you've observed?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just more of me just taking what's there and not trying to force it. If it's not there, throw the ball away, especially when we're in field goal range. And then when I'm trying to dirt the ball, don't leave it where the guy can get his hand underneath it and pick it. So it's just a couple bad mistakes throughout the game. But when you look at the tape, I thought I played pretty good other than those 3 picks. So just trying to clean those up.
Patrick, I think this is the first time you will have played in Texas. I recognize it's quite a bit of distance from where you're from. But still, does that mean anything to you? Do you have extra people coming because of that or anything?
Yeah, I have a couple extra people coming, yeah, it's the first time I'm playing in the state of Texas, and I went to the Cowboy Stadium my first year, and when we played down there, and didn't get to play, but to get down to Houston, I mean, it's like a 3-hour trip, 3.5-hour trip from Tyler, Texas. So I'm sure there'll be more people than I even know that are coming down to watch the game, but it'll be cool to kind of see some people and they'll get to see me play in my home state for sure.
How impressed are you with the Andy Reid's play design when it comes to the screen game, and what do you think goes into having such success with that for you guys?
Yeah, I think we just do a great job of tying plays together. I think that's the biggest thing is we make it all look like it's the same, and when he's just really good at calling it, the timing. I mean, it seems like every time he calls a screen, it's on a pressure, and it's called right into it. So it's a thing where the coaches do a great job of designing it and tied it all together, and then Coach Reid does a great job in EB of calling it at the right time whenever it gets open and can get a lot of extra yards.
Patrick, they seem to do a pretty good job of mixing between blitzing and then dropping a lot of guys. I'm curious, within the play designs, like, does every play have I got a guy I go to if they drop 8, and I got a guy I go to or is there sometimes that, oh wow, we're just kind of screwed, like we thought they were going to do this and they went the other way, and I don't really have an out here.
Yeah, I mean, most times there's either a guy that I have a hot that I can throw to, or we have guys that can kind of work whenever drop 8 comes. They do a good job of calling those good versus all plays. But, I mean, obviously there's some times when you call a game plan-specific play that you want to get a certain coverage or a certain look, and they might do something that was un-game plan, unscouted. And so they got us a couple times throughout the game, but we did a great job of kind of settling in there and getting to those good versus all plays because we knew that they were doing a little bit of different stuff, especially in the late second quarter, early third.
And against the blitz, I saw a stat, 13 of 15, 2 touchdowns. I mean, that happens a lot when they blitz you, that your numbers against that are really good. You're at the end of the game go, I can't believe they did that this many times.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard position for a defense to be in. I mean, there was a couple times in the game that I didn't throw the ball where they got sacks because they were blitzing. So whenever defense is trying to give you different looks, when you have a talented offense, there's going to be times where they get in a blitz and give up yards. But at the same time, they have to live with that if they're able to make the tackle because then they're hoping they blitz and get negative plays as well.
Patrick, when you're in the moment there with everything, when you said after the game, trust me, I know when I messed up and you're kind of hot on the sideline. Talk about the process of trying to calm down. You still got more game to go with Andy and EB and everybody on the sideline there, trying to make sure you just make the right adjustments going forward.
Yeah, you just kind of have to flush it and keep playing. I mean, obviously I knew that those 2 turnovers before half were big. Kind of kept them in the game and got the momentum back on their side. But I think you see me on the sideline. I'm talking to the guys. I'm saying we're going to have to score again. We're going to have to put up another touchdown to win this game. And it's about keeping the bigger picture in mind. I mean, obviously it stinks at that time when you throw an interception, but we're still up in the ball game. We still have to find a way to win the game. So how are we going to do that? And that just kind of hit the move on and keep going.
Well, how often is your first read right on that? Like after the game, you pretty much know what you did. When you go back and look at those plays where the interception happened, were you right after the game, or you see something different when you go back and look at tape?
Yeah, I mean, The first one, I thought I could have got to an easier completion instead of trying to force it into Travis. The second one, like I said, I was trying to just dirt the ball. I just threw it too far. I was trying to just not get intentional ground. I'm in the pocket and throw it away kind of behind Sky on the ground, and he makes a great play on it. And then the third one was just I forced it, try to put it in a window that wasn't really there. So you have a good feel for it because you can see it on the tablet and on there on the sideline. But I think what makes you more upset was kind of like the first one. I feel like I had other guys open that I could have got the ball to. So that's the only one that I really feel like I made a decision. I could have made a different decision to kind of help the team out.
Patrick, on your third touchdown against Denver, everybody's watching you sort of scramble and obviously extend the play, but what jumped out to you, I guess, in the moment in finding Juju, and then if you're looking at it on the tablet or looking at it on film afterwards, what did you think Juju did well there to stay open for you?
Yeah, he just stayed alive. I mean, he's kind of a guy who's trying to attract people so he could get Travis open, and obviously they dropped right into where he wanted to throw the football. And so instead of just kind of running off and letting the play in, he just kept working, and you could see it, I think, from the back end zone view of he's moving side to side, just trying to find a way to give me a spot to throw the football. And so he got open. I was able to get him the ball in a big moment. But it's going to take that. I mean, not every play is going to be perfect. We're going to have to be able to make some plays whenever the play call isn't perfect. And so I thought he did a great job of continue to work and not giving up on it.
You never played for Mike Leach, but you kind of did.
Yeah.
I just want to know what your thoughts on Mike and what kind of influence, I mean, by extension, did he have on you?
Yeah, I mean, a huge influence. I mean, the way that I play the sport, I feel like it fits that scheme very well of just finding good space throughout the field. And even though you might not say you have like that Mike Leach coach in the NFL, I feel like a lot of his schemes and type of how to play is kind of infiltrated the NFL. And so obviously he was Coach Kingsbury. That was his coach. I think I was Leach's first quarterback and influenced him to become a coach. I learned from Coach Kingsbury, so I feel like I've learned from Mike Leach himself. So just prayers to his family, man. I mean, obviously a sad deal, but his impact will be known for a long time around the NFL and around college football as well.
You ever get to know him at all?
I didn't get to meet him, but I mean, I knew a lot of people that knew him. I mean, I've worked a little bit with Graham Harrell, who has obviously played with them and coached with them at Washington State. Obviously, Eric Morris, another offensive coordinator I had at Texas Tech, was there. I mean, there's so many people that I've known that have known him and told the amazing stories I think everybody's heard of the characteristics that he has. But, I mean, he loved football, and he made a huge impact on the game.
Did you run a similar thing in high school? I mean, everyone in Texas runs some sort of a spread. Some of that went to Tech, and some of it came from Tech to everywhere. Were you running that the whole time you were in high school?
Yeah, I ran the exact same offense. My coach in high school went to Texas Tech, so he kind of had that same style of offense. I went on visits there, and I was trying to learn what they were doing to add it into our offense. And so it's a great offense to run, especially when you want to score points. And I wanted to score a lot in high school.
Just similarly, did Coach Cook actually play? He was walk-on.
Yeah.
At Tech. Did he actually play for Cliff?
I would assume so. Just I don't even know honestly off the top of my head, but I would assume so that he was under that same coaching staff. But if you look at that coaching staff and the players that they had, I mean, there's coaches all around college football that are in that now in the NFL as well. And so, like I said, he made a tremendous impact on the game of football itself. And like I said, prayers to his family on this time.
Patrick Mahomes will begin his ramp-up process that I guess we'll see about this week, but what do you feel like you maybe missed when that weapon in particular in the offenses?
Yeah, I think getting McCole and KT back will just add another dimension. I mean, obviously they can do the jet sweeps and stuff like that, but just adding that speed to the field, it makes teams have to honor it. And obviously Marquez has done a great job of filling that role, and so has Sky. But just to continue to add speed to any offense like that those two guys have, I think it'll open up everybody else because you have to really account for those two guys in every play.
Sam?
Patrick, when you mentioned earlier, you go back and look at one of those interceptions that somebody else is open. How often does that happen throughout a game when it doesn't result in interception, even if it's a completion? I mean, I'm guessing that's a handful of times per game.
Yeah, for sure. And that's stuff you try to just continue to kind of log in your memory to try to find that open guy whenever it's there. I mean, if you look at the one I tried to over the middle to Travis, I felt like I had Marquez kind of popping at the end of that play. And so I had seen him early. He was covered, and I thought that the backside corner was going to fall off, and he didn't. So it's just I got to continue to stay throughout my reads and learn from them so that I don't give up and I can hit those big plays when they're there.
Patrick, just one quick thing about the Texans. The record really isn't something that everybody's, jumping up and down about, but a Lovey Smith team, is there anything that you look at that you want to be concerned about or focus on?
Yeah, I mean, they're well coached. I mean, they play hard. They're well coached. Obviously, Lovey's done a lot of great things in the league. And so it just you got to go in there with the mentality you're going to play your best football. I think you saw last week. I mean, they played a great football team in the Cowboys, and they were down there where they probably should have won. So in this league, you can take no one for granted. I mean, those are NFL players. They have a lot of talented young guys that play really hard, and we understand it'll be a great challenge for us. So we're going to have to go out there and play our best football to win.
Thank you.